everybody, it's Adele and welcome to my channel, Sew for Serenity, where I talk to you about my sewing journey. I'll talk to you about my love for dressmaking, patterns, fabrics, and just basically talk about everything sewing related. So if that's something that sounds of interest to you, please keep on watching. Welcome back to all my regular viewers. It means so much that you subscribe to me and keep watching my videos. And if you're new here, I really hope you enjoy this vlog and consider subscribing. So today's vlog is a fabric haul, but a fabric haul with a bit of a difference. I recently went to the Sewing for Pleasure exhibition at the NEC and just had an absolutely fabulous day. So the Sewing for Pleasure exhibition was on at the NEC from the 17th to the 20th of March. I actually went on Saturday the 19th of March. I went on my own and actually had an absolutely fantastic day. The exhibition is filled with everything sewing, knitting, patchwork and stitching. The tickets were £14, however I got a £12 ticket, which was an early bird discount ticket. You could upgrade to VIP for £35, which I did consider. With the VIP tickets you got a fast track entry, coffee and tea all day, pastries in the morning, and you could drop, this is the most benefit I think, you could drop your shopping off in a secure area, and there was seating as well. The cafe gets quite busy and you end up with people sitting on the floor. I didn't actually struggle getting a seat. I was quite lucky every time I went for a drink or for something to eat, but I know that I did see some people scattered about on the floor, etc., which isn't ideal. So the VIP ticket, if you wanted to guarantee yourself a seat to have a rest, then that would be a good option to go with. The fast track element of it wasn't required. There wasn't any queues. I just walked straight in. It was fine. I actually spent my money by upgrading my car parking. I've been to the NEC loads of times, it's quite near me, and the normal car parks are a bit of a walk away, to be honest with you, and I thought actually it might be more beneficial to get the car parking, which is called the express parking, which is right next to the exhibition halls. The normal parking is £12 for the day, but the express parking is £20. And what that meant was that I was able to, if I needed to, pop back to the car. I didn't actually have to, but it was an option that was there. And it is literally, I could see the hall from where I parked, so it was perfect. Okay, so I believe that the Sewing for Pleasure exhibition wasn't as big as it normally was. I've never been to one before at all, and from what I know from other vloggers, usually the different sections, so the sewing, the knitting, the embroidery, have their own hall each, but this was over 2 halls for everything. So it wasn't as big as normal. There wasn't as many big names there that are at the Stitch Festival and other London shows, but it was still a really good day out and I really enjoyed myself. There were additional workshops that you could pay for additional money, and there was only a couple that I fancied, and they were later on in the day, so I never took advantage of those, but they looked quite popular, and when you were walking through the exhibition hall you could see these workshops going on. There was things like calligraphy, there was some sewing machine ones, there's quite a few different ones. There was knickers making, lots of different ones throughout the day, so I thought that was a really good option as well. I didn't bump into anybody from the vlogging community, but I was really disappointed because Ruan, the Yorkshire Sewgirl, was there as well at a similar time. I just don't know how I missed Ruan at all. I was there a bit earlier than her, but was still there at the same time scale, and we didn't realise we were both there until we'd got home, which was disappointing. But it would have been nice to meet her in person, but maybe next time or at another event we will do. So if you're watching, Ruan, hi! I didn't really take any video footage because I just thought I just want to enjoy the event, to be honest with you, and I know really what you want to see is what I've purchased. So my strategy for the the Sewing for Pleasure show was to set myself a budget. Now I did share with you that I got my bonus, my annual bonus from work in March, so I always planned on going a little bit mad. So I set myself a budget, and I also had a bit of a shopping list because I did actually need to get some things. There was a few things that I did want. And I also decided what I was going to do was walk around the stalls first, have a little look, see what things I liked, and make a mental note, and not just buy everything, you know, first time. So the first time I went round, I did buy a couple of things, but I only spent £40, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to hit my budget here. Oh my God, how wrong I was. The second time round, I blew the budget. Well, only by about £10, but I did stay kind of in budget for me. So yeah, it was such a fantastic day. I was chatting to people when I was in queues. People were really friendly. You know, the sewing community is really friendly. I've said that lots of times before, and this was no different. The people on the stalls were really friendly. I just had a really fantastic time, and when I got home I was just absolutely buzzing. So what I'm going to do now is talk you through some of the things that I purchased, and I'll try and talk to you about the cost of them. I can't remember off the top of my head for everything, but most things I know how much they roughly were. And what I'll do is I'll link any websites or any information in the show notes below. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is a wonderful stall that I walked past, and it was very plain, but just something about it caught my eye, and they had a rack of beautiful enamel pin badges. So they had these beautiful punky pins, they're called, and they had some really clever designs, but the one that really caught my eye was this one, and it says resting stitch face, which I thought was really, really lovely. And it just actually made me laugh out loud. And as I was looking at it, the lady on the stall kind of started chatting to me, and she said, "Can I show you my magazine?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And it was called The Pattern Pages, and I'd never ever heard of them before. Just show you a little card. So this is the artwork for the business, The Pattern Pages. And it's a mother and daughter company. Julie is the editor, and Emily, I think it's her daughter, is the graphic designer. And they are basically an indie sewing magazine for the modern sewer. So I don't know about you, but I subscribe to Love Sewing magazine, and occasionally I buy the other magazines, Simply Sewing and I think So. And although I do really love those magazines, they tend to focus about the big four patterns, which sometimes they're quite modern, and depending on the fabric, you can make those designs very modern. But really, it's not as modern and fashion forward as I would sometimes like to make. So I was really intrigued when she started talking to me about this magazine. So what I'm going to do now is just show you their website, because I think that's the best way for me to illustrate and show you all about this wonderful magazine that I've found. This is the Pattern Pages website, which is just beautifully laid out, and it's basically a digital magazine, not a paper magazine. So it's the first indie sewing magazine for the modern sewer. And this just shows you how beautifully the website is and how you can read it on any device at all. There's some reviews on what the readers say, and then it tells you how much they are. So the annual subscription for this magazine is £26.50 for the year. Now, that is for 6 issues. It's bi-monthly, so every 2 months they release an issue of the magazine. So the most current issue is issue 25. You can just buy the issue ad hoc as well, so you don't have to subscribe, which I think is absolutely great. But by doing the annual subscription, which I did sign up for on the day, you actually get access to all the back issues of the magazine, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'll just talk you through what you actually get with each magazine. So why subscribe? You get the savings on the cover price, so obviously £26.50 divided by 6 is less than £5.95. You never miss an issue. and each issue is filled to the brim with inspiration, tips, projects, interviews, news, trends, and learn to sews. It's digital, so you're saving the environment. You get inspiration at the click of a button with this digital link. So what I found really great about the magazine is when you see a link for something, you know, you might see some fabric and you might want to go to that website. If you just click the link, it takes you straight through there, which is absolutely fantastic. So as I say, bi-monthly, 6 a year, you actually get a PDF sewing pattern every single issue, which is absolutely fantastic. As I say, you get access to all the back issues, although you don't get the patterns from the back issues, but you can purchase them. You get subscriber-only content, and then inside, as I say, it's trends, expert sewing kit, tips, learn to sew, scrapbuster projects, meet the makers, hot seasonal fabrics, and much more. And as soon as you sign up, it's ready to read. But as I say, you can subscribe to the magazine you can just purchase one issue of the magazine. So the current issue is issue 25, which is the one that I read. And I don't know about you, but when I have one of the normal sewing magazines, one of the paper sewing magazines, I don't read it from cover to cover. I find some of it repetitive. You know, I think someone shared recently on Instagram that they had an issue of sewing, I can't remember which sewing magazine it was, but they compared it to one a couple of months ago, and they had the same article in there, which, you know, that's not great really, is it? So what I found with this one is I read it from cover to cover. So this is showing you what it looks like on a tablet. In this issue, you've got who's who in France, so pattern makers from France, and I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. So basically, all the different designers that are French that sell patterns in English. What's on our radar, things we thought you might like to know, hooked on books, get your sewing mojo back with a good book. There's a pattern review of new sewing patterns, hot fabrics, some details about a new colour, and a new trend, which is animal print, which was perfect for me, as you know. Meet and greet from somebody from Sew Chic Patterns. Good Fabric, so let's talk fabric, Good Fabric is a fabric company, which I had a look on their website, got beautiful fabrics. Meet the Maker, so someone from Digital Pattern Library. Sew the Look, wide leg tailoring. Sew the Look, colour blocking. Understitching, so the skill that they were teaching you is understitching. There was an article on directional sewing, which was fascinating as well. How to reduce bulk, cloning your clothes, recreating and making from a pattern from a ready-to-wear garment, which was brilliant. Style hacking, and then pattern collaboration, which is basically the jumpsuit that has been designed. So I'll now take you into the magazine. So there's a subscribers only section, which is once you've subscribed, where you get to access your content. So I have got permission from Julie and Emily to scroll through this magazine to show you, because I think it best illustrates how it works and what's on there. And yeah, let's have a look without further ado. So here we go. So it comes in Acrobat file. So you will need to have that installed, but that's fairly easy. And for those of you that sew, you know, I'm sure you have Acrobat on your Mac. You can view it on any device, your phone, your laptop. And when I was at the show, she was showing me on her iPad, which was absolutely fabulous. So this is the pattern pages. And the first page is Pattern Boutique, which is an advert. So obviously it must make for some of its money from advertisements. So this is advertising somewhere called the Pattern Boutique, and there's some information around that over the page. And this is the jumpsuit pattern. As you know, I love a jumpsuit. Thought this was really cute for the summer. So I've got that pattern now, which is fabulous. And then it tells you the contents. I just think it's so beautifully laid out, just really modern, styled just really well. And then it's got adverts in there, and if you click any of these links, it will take you through to those websites. On our radar, it talks about, so for example, the new sewing subscription from the avid seamstress, and if you click on that, it will take you through to it. So what's going on in the sewing community. It's got some patterns from this pattern company, and you can go straight through. It's talking about different wide leg trousers recommendations, all the different ones that are offered, and it recommends. And then loads of different ideas. And then there's this section on understitching. What is understitching? Why you shouldn't stitch it. Steps on how to do it. Tutorial, which I thought was really good. And then this is an article on where modern meets vintage, which is Laura Nash, who has her own pattern company, which I'd never heard of, and some just really gorgeous designs. Anybody who likes vintage, I think this coat's gorgeous. And you can click that link, and I'll just show you now. It'll ask you to open the link, and you will, with the magic of technology, take you through. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is a bit slow. Take you through to So Chic Patterns Company, and you can actually look on her website. And I think that's just fantastic. Instead of like writing it down or thinking I'll look at that later, you can just go straight to it. And then you've got some guides on directional sewing. So this was really interesting. Not heard of directional sewing when you probably aren't alone. This technique is rarely mentioned on sewing patterns, but used in couture sewing and can improve your garment's appearance. So that was really interesting, and I've started taking note of which direction I sew in. Hot fabrics, so different fabric types, and then obviously some more adverts, but scrolling through, just thinking what else. And then the last bit, loads of different information about jeans there. And then there's a section on colour blocking somewhere. Yeah, so talk about colour blocking and ideas for patterns for colour blocking, which people talk about a lot. So that's fabulous as well. There's an article on the Good Fabric store and the founder of that. And you also get a discount code. These are skills again about grading, which I found really interesting and helpful. And then my favourite article in this is this section here, the who's who in France. And I don't know if this is a regular thing, but I have found, there's obviously some people that I have heard of on here, so Deer and Doe, Atelier Scammit, I Am Patterns and Akati. But there were some companies on here that I'd never heard of. And if you obviously click on the, as we say, click on the link, it will take you through to that company. And I was able to read through and get straight over to that website and look at their patterns. And I must admit, I probably purchased about 4 patterns from these websites, because obviously France is very modern. That one's quite a modern one. I don't think I purchased anything from that one, but I'm just trying to find one that I did actually purchase from. But I just found these really, really beautiful, fashion-forward, this one, that's the one that I actually purchased from, really fashion-forward designs. Obviously, French are at the forefront of fashion, or are known to be at the forefront of fashion, and I found that some of these patterns I just hadn't seen anywhere else. I had to buy them. Let's just wait for this to load up and I'll show you one of the examples. But yeah, without this magazine I would never have found these companies, and I just thought that what a great resource and such good value for that £5.95 per issue, or £26.50. Oh, not working, sorry about that. There we go, to refresh. So yeah, I thought this top was absolutely gorgeous. Got loads of unusual styled outfits that I just thought were really lovely. I think I purchased this one. It had a lovely back detail. And this shirt I think I purchased as well. And then there was another website that had a beautiful low back top with a knot detail, which was gorgeous as well. But yeah, I just thought it was a really interesting article and really enjoyed it. And yeah, so it has an article there on on lilac, which I thought was gorgeous. And then another Meet the Maker, which I think is really nice. And then obviously just little articles all the way through. But yeah, I just thought, oh yeah, there's a thing on there about self-drafting a wrap top. Just a really good magazine. I think my internet's dying now. But yeah, I just thought it was absolutely fabulous, and I wanted to share that with you. So yeah, check out this website and have a look. I don't get charged, I don't get paid any commission for this. This is just, I think it's amazing and wanted to share it with you and get the message out there. So I hope you like that little show of the website there, and we'll consider having a look at it. What I also got, because I signed up on the day, which I'm a sucker for a free gift, I got these Pattern Pages weights, which you can actually buy in the shop. So these are fabric weights, and they were really pretty. I'll just get them out actually to show you. And you can buy these off the website actually, I did notice. But yeah, we got those, which was lovely. And then also in the little gift bag, got some universal needles, which, you know, you always need universal needles, and some cute little embroidery scissors. So that was just fabulous, and all of that for £26.50. And obviously I got my cute punky pins. Punky pin, which is resting stitch face. They are £7 each, they were, so I purchased that as well, which I really, really liked. So yeah, can't recommend that enough. And as I said, I'm not getting paid any commission. I just thought it was just really, really nice. I paid for all this myself, and I really wanted to get the message out there because I just think it's fantastic. We support indie pattern companies, so why not support indie magazine? And they're not a publishing house or anything like that. It is just Emily and Julie, mother and daughter, putting this fabulous content out there. So well done, Julie and Emily. It's just fantastic. You might actually see that I'm actually filming in a different area at the moment. I've actually been kicked out of the bedroom, and I'm now in the conservatory, which, as you know, is my new sewing room. It's not actually finished yet, so I'm filming in the lounge area, but this will just be temporary, so sorry about that. Just bear with me with the lighting. I've tried to make it as good as possible, but I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. So as I said to you, I did have a list of things that I wanted to get from my when I was at the Sewing for Pleasure show, and one of those things was I really wanted to get a walking foot for my machine, which will help me to when I'm sewing knits especially, or slippery fabric. So a walking foot, for those of you that don't know, is a special foot that makes sure that the fabrics don't move at different rates, so it keeps, especially with slippy or knit fabrics, keep them together and stop them stretching. So I was really keen to get one of those, so I did get the walking foot. It's actually packed up, so I don't know where it is at the moment, but this is the walking foot that I got. I'll put a picture in for my machine, and I'd been looking at them on the Brother website and they were £37.99. At the show they were much cheaper, they were £34.99, plus I got a discount, so it ended up only costing me £30. So I was really happy to get that from the sewing show. So I haven't used it yet, but I'm excited to try it and see what difference it's made. So I'll probably do a review on that at some point in the future, because I have heard good things about it. So that's one of my less exciting purchases. Next I purchased quite a few little different buttons, which I'll show you. So the first lot of buttons are quite childlike buttons. I got these gorgeous rainbow buttons, and I can't remember where I got these from, so I do apologise, but if I do remember I will. And I got this rainbow motif, which I thought they would be absolutely adorable for something for Alice. So obviously we've got your Selfless Sew April challenge next month, which I'm taking part on, so these will be a gorgeous addition to anything that I make for her. And then these are some lovely lions, which, as you know, Alice likes. You don't know, I tell you all the time that Alice really likes animals, so I thought these little buttons were really cute, and again that'll be something for her that I make hopefully in April. So those are those. So the other buttons that I purchased were absolute bargains. They were from somewhere called TP Crafts, and they may have an Etsy store or website, and I'll link it in the comments below. But these buttons here I got, and these are all sewing related. Don't know if I can get them. So there's a little buttons, a sewing machine, a thimble, etc. And these were 60p, which I just think are absolute bargain. So I just think they're really cute. And so I got those. I also got these two in different sizes. They are what do they say? Handmade with love, little buttons, wooden buttons, which I thought were really cute as well. And then I also, oh sorry, they were 40p for the little ones and 30p for the big ones. And then I also got these little coconut ones, which were 80p and 80p. I just thought they were really cute as well. Yes, I got 8 of those. So I got those buttons, which were really cute. So at this point in time, I hadn't spent that much money. I was quite proud of myself. Next up, I purchased a little cute thing from a craft store, which I thought would be perfect for my sewing room. So I got this. They had loads of cut out, laser cut wood, designs. They had a larger one than this, but I brought the small one. My sewing room is my happy place. Obviously it needs to be painted, but I thought I'd give this to my daughter Isabel to do because she loves crafting. So I want her to paint this in some lovely colours, and then I can put it up in my sewing room. So yeah, I can't remember how much it was a couple of pounds, and they had loads of different designs which were really cute. And again, I can't remember where I purchased this from. That I purchased, which again I can't remember where I got them from. There's quite a lot of stalls that have this kind of stuff. I got one of these, which is an iron ruler to measure your hem, and I've already used this and it's making such a massive difference. But you can get these from Amazon as well, so if I find one on Amazon that's similar, I'll put it on the in the show notes. But yeah, this is great. You basically, it's heat resistant, so you can put it, use your piece of material, fold it over to where you need your hem to be, and the measurements are all there, and then you can iron it. I also purchased a fabric glue pen for sticking on my labels mainly. So I've seen a lot of people do that. So stick on my label and then sew it on, because I use a pin sometimes and it tends to move and then I'm not happy with the position. So that was £6 that was. I also purchased a chalk pen, which I'll put a picture of, but I've lost it. It's in the sewing room somewhere. And this is one of those pens that you can, basically it's got like a little wheel that you move along and the chalk comes out. It's absolutely fantastic. Really, really good for marking darts, etc. on your fabric. So I really recommend those as well. But you can get those from Amazon as well. And again, if I find any, I'll put some links in below. So they were my little sewing tools that I purchased. The next store that I went to was called Sewgirl. So Sewgirl is run by a lovely lady called Fiona, who I had the pleasure of being able to chat to, and she designs all her own patterns, and this is the pattern I ended up buying. It's called Maisie, and basically I think if I'd seen this just on a website or in a shop, I wouldn't have purchased it. But what I found great about this, the Sewing for Pleasure, and I'm sure it's all of the exhibitions, is the pattern designers had their designs made up on rails so you could have a look at them, and that is why I purchased this. She had this one made up in this cable knit fabric and I just absolutely loved it. The fact it had these pockets on it and this funnel, like, I don't know if it's a funnel neck, but the neckline was just beautiful. So I purchased it. And usually I buy a PDF pattern, obviously, and I could have probably purchased a PDF cheaper, but I wanted to support the show and I wanted to support the pattern designers, so I purchased the pattern. This comes in sizes 8 to 22, so it's not a massively inclusive size range, but they do seem to have quite a lot of ease in the pattern, so it'd be worthwhile having a look to see if you fit it into that. But yeah, I purchased that and I really liked it, and I want to make this for you here. But as I say, they do a dress version as well and a hooded dress version, which are both beautiful. So I purchased that. The other thing that she had for sale is she had some kits, because she got quite a lot of patterns, so she had kits with the fabrics in, but also she was selling her own, so basically having a bit of a de-stash and selling her own fabrics that she'd had for years and years. And this piece caught my eye, and it's a rare vintage piece, 1 metre screen print by Timney Fowler on raw silk, and it was £10. Now, Timney Fowler I hadn't heard of, but I've had a look at the website since, and they are a duo, Suzanne, I think it's Susan Timney and Graham Fowler, and they predominantly design fabrics, I think, for furnishings. They do wallpaper designs, and yeah, they focus around art, using European art and architecture to create their designs. And this piece, as I love faces, is actually from Picasso's sketches, and it's on this beautiful piece of raw silk. I'm going to just hold that up so I can bring it, and it's just got all these lovely designs on it. I just really liked it, and she was selling that for £10. It has got a mark on it, but I think I can work, it might be just some grease or something that she couldn't get out. I don't know if that's coming up, but there is a little mark on it, but I think I can work round it, and I'm hoping I could just, I know I have made shirts with 1 metre of fabric before, and I don't know, I just really liked it. I'll make something with it, even if it's a lining or a bag or something like that. But this is just an example of where I saw a fabric and just fell in love with it, and she just hasn't made anything with it, and wants to pass that on. So yeah, that's a lovely piece of fabric that I've got in my stash now, which hopefully I can find the right project for. And as I say, that was £10. The pattern, I'm not sure how much that was. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll insert it if I can remember. So that was Sewgirl. The next place that I went to was Fabrics Galore. They had a very, very big stand. Fabrics Galore is a website I have looked at before, but I hadn't actually purchased anything. The fabrics that I purchased from Fabrics Galore are absolutely stunning. I purchased 2. The first one being a seersucker, which is this, for those of you who don't know what seersucker is, it has this kind of a bumpy, is the only way I can describe it, bumpy, what's the word, texture to it, and I've got it in this beautiful candy stripe, and that is to make Alice a dress for the summer. So I got 1 metre of that, and it was £10. Did I get 1 metre? Yeah, 1 metre, and that was £10 a metre, and they still have this in stock on their website. So if you would like some, they have different colourways as well, so that's really pretty. And then the next one is this Indian cotton, which is got arrows across it in the teal and mustard colour, which is in my colour palette for Sew My Colours. And this is an Indian cotton, quite heavy. It's the weave goes through, so it's the same on both sides, although it does have right side and wrong side. And this, I really want to make the Sylvia robe, because I thought this would be a really nice summer kind of alternative to a cardigan for on holiday. So yeah, that's what I've got a vision of, wearing this with just a black cami and some like mustard linen trousers or something like that. So I think I got 2 metres of this, and I think it was £11 a metre, and it's called a quiver of arrows, and they have got a different colourway, which is beautiful. It's the same design but in different so rainbow colours, which was really pretty as well. So, and it was really funny because I was holding the bolt in the queue, and people just kept coming up to me and touching the fabric because it kept catching their eye. So yeah, that's a really unusual fabric that, again, I probably wouldn't have purchased if I'd seen it online, but when I saw it on the shelf and touched it and felt it, I just had to have it. So yeah, I got 2 metres of that to make the Sylvia robe by Sew Over It, I believe. That's those. Right, the next thing that I purchased was from a company called Sew Me Something, which again is a fabric and pattern house, indie pattern house that does some beautiful patterns. Again, this is something where, because I had the patterns made up in beautiful linens, it made me want to buy the pattern. So they had this jumpsuit, it's called the Cleo jumpsuit. There's the line drawings. So it's got a beautiful tie detail there, and the back has this kind of slash at the back, and then it's got these lovely patch pockets on it as well, and I believe it's got inseam pockets as well. And yeah, I just fell in love with it. They had it made up in this linen, which was beautiful, a mustard linen, but the linen was £24 a metre, which I just couldn't justify. So I brought the pattern from them, but not the fabric. I think this was £18.50. It's for a beginner plus, and it goes up to a size, from a size 6 to a size 18. So not massively size inclusive, but I do believe these come up quite big, I've been told. So yeah, that is absolutely stunning, and again, wouldn't have purchased it unless I'd seen it made up. The other thing that I purchased from them was some fabric. Now, as I said, the linen was very, very expensive. It was beautiful quality, but it was £24 a metre. That pattern takes 3 metres of fabric, and there was no way I was going to spend over £70 on some linen. So yeah, that was out of the question, but I have got some fabric for that, which I'll share with you in another haul. So the fabric that I saw really caught my eye, and again, it was quite expensive for me, even by my standards, but it was so beautiful and so unusual. I'd never seen it anywhere else that I just had to have it. So it's, we know there's a bit of a theme at the moment with faces, and it's this faces sweatshirting in a grey marl with red line drawings of faces. Oh, it's just absolutely stunning, and the back is super soft brushed sweatshirt. I got 1.5 meters of this. It was £20 a metre, so for this piece it cost me £30, which is a lot of money, but I just had to have this. It was absolutely stunning. So this fabric is going to be for a sweatshirt of some description, quite oversized. I've got a couple of sweatshirts in mind. There's a Style Arc one that I really like. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll insert a picture if I can find it. And there's also one that I've purchased from Tessuti, I think, which that might work as well. And I also got at the same time the matching ribbon, because I just thought while I was there and they had it, I'll just get it. So yeah, those two, and the ribbon was £7.50. But I really, really like those and can't wait to make something up. So that's that one. The next shop that I went to was the Sewing Sanctuary, which seemed to specialise in waterproof fabrics. I had a fantastic range of novelty prints, beautiful prints, that yeah, I could have spent all day looking at those, and had to resist buying any because I haven't even got a pattern and I wouldn't even know how much fabric you need. But it is on my Mate 9, the To Be in the Buttons, I can't remember what it's called, the anorak. So might be where I look at getting that fabric from when I get to that point in my makes. I didn't buy too much from there, but I did buy this really cute fat quarter of, dog fabric, which I purchased because I want to make my dog a bow tie for the Selfless Sew April. And I thought that'd be perfect. I found a free bow tie pattern, and I thought waterproof fabric would be perfect, and I should be able to get enough out of to do 2 layers of a nice little bow tie for him. So I got that. I do want to go back and get some more because I do want to make him a dog coat. The Poppy and Jazz of Sew Over It do a dog coat, which needs about, I haven't quite got enough fabric there, it needs about 0.7 of fabric, so I'm going to go back on there and get that for that make in April. And she also does her own patterns, and she does some really lovely patterns, so check those out as well on the Sewing Sanctuary website. And then the other thing that I purchased from them was something that I'd nearly purchased from Beyond the Pink Door. They had this fabric in a black colourway on Beyond the Pink Door, and they sold out and never got any more back in stock. I spotted it in the Sewing Sanctuary in the black colourway and the green colourway, and then proceeded to take about an hour to decide which colour to buy. And I picked up the bolt of the one colour, walked to the checkout, then walked back, picked up the other bolt, and that happened about 4 or 5 times. But I was good, at least I didn't buy both colourways. I ended up going for the green colourway in the end, and it's this beautiful leopard, tiger and lion print jersey fabric, which I just love it so much. So I got 1 metre of that, which was £14, £7 a half metre, and I just loved it. It's so cute, and yeah, I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but probably a t-shirt of some description. But yeah, I really like that. I might actually, they've got a new pattern from Cashmerette, which I'm part of the Cashmerette club, and they've released a new pattern which is like a cut-off top. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll insert a picture if I can remember it. I've got enough fabric, I'd like to do that in it actually. So yeah, that was my other purchase from them. Okay, so I haven't finished yet, I've still got loads more. Next up I went to Maven Patterns, which again, this is another store. I hadn't heard of this pattern company, and it's another store that, because she had all the designs made up and she had them made up in an absolutely super fabric. It's actually the fabric that's on the pattern booklet. I purchased these. Now these are very similar to what I just made, the Tammy handmade set that I've made, the henna and Etty camisole, but I just loved a couple of different details on these ones. So this is the pattern that I purchased. It's called the Simone Set, and she actually had it made up in this Mind the Maker fabric, which was gorgeous. And it comes in, you can either make them as shorts, I think, as well, just cut them off, and it's these elasticated waist with pockets, and this beautiful camisole with this double strap detail, which I thought was really beautiful. Or you can make it with wide straps as well if you want that. The packet is so lovely. I haven't talked about that actually. She actually made that, I haven't actually seen that, but she's got it made up in a denim there, which looks really nice. This is like a loungewear set, which, you know, at the end of the day, you could make this, you can either have it as pyjamas, or you could have it as a going out, you know, loungewear to go out in. The drawstring, it's got bust darts, which is a nice touch. It's a slim fit with a straight leg, which is what is a little bit different to the henna trousers, so I thought that was quite nice. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making that. I'd really like to get this fabric as well and just completely copy it. But I purchased that. Again, I could have got the PDF for about £12, but I purchased the paper pattern because I really wanted to support the sellers on that day. So yeah, that is a really nice pattern and I can't wait to make it. They do sell some fabrics as well, but not a massive range. The size range of this is, again, not massive. It's an 8 to a 20. But yeah, I really like that Maven Patterns. So yeah, 3 new pattern companies that I A, hadn't heard of, and B, had never purchased from. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those purchases. And I'll add it to the long list of makes that I need to make. So the next purchases that I made was from the Lady McElroy stand, and I've got this cute little bag as well. Now, I nearly didn't buy anything from Lady McElroy because the discount wasn't that massive. I think like on Sherwood's you can get £15 a metre and it's about £14 a metre, so it wasn't a massive discount. But the thing that they did have, which was really lovely, is they had all the fabric kind of hanging. I wish I took a photograph actually, hanging over the display so you could see the drape. And as I'm a sucker for faces at the moment, and I've had my eye on one of these fabrics and had it in my basket and never purchased it quite a few times, but I bit the bullet and I have got an idea of what I want to make with this. So I got this one, which I'm sure you've all seen. It's a cotton lawn, which I'm not a lover of cotton lawn, but I'm going to give it another go because I love the design so much. And I got a metre. I didn't go mad, I just got a metre of this. I thought it'd make a really lovely summery top. I really would like to make the Silo by Closet Core, but I don't know if I've got enough fabric for that. I think that'd really be cute, but you can, in fact I probably have, because I could probably colour block with it. So yeah, I'd like to make the Silo, if that's how you say it, by Closet Core in that. So I've got a metre of that. And then the other one that I purchased is, again, very similar theme. It's the Good Girl, sorry, not Good Girl, Cool Girl, and I got 1.5 meters of this. And this has got my favourite things as well, so faces, and then it's also got tigers on it as well. And yeah, just something about this print, it just grabbed me. So again, I think that'd make a lovely shirt. Maybe a patina blouse. I'm not a lover of the patina blouse. I can't get on board with it, and I don't know why that is. But saying that, I have seen a couple of nice ones recently, and I think maybe if I did it short sleeved, I might like it a little bit more. So yeah, maybe a patina. I want to like the patina. So the only way I'm going to like it is if I make a version in my fabric that I like, and maybe, yeah, short sleeved is what I'm thinking. So yeah, that's a really nice one that I want to use for maybe the patina. So they're my Lady McElroys. Are you bored yet? So the next purchases I got from Bombay stores. Yeah, I'd not purchased from there before, but I know Michelle from Sewing Bunny had the Stitch Festival, and I was keen to have a look at what they had. So the first thing I purchased was some I think it's ITY because of how soft it is, and it's this lovely like reindeer printed jersey, and that was a metre for £5.99, and it's so super soft. I love ITY jersey. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's polyester, but I think it's the super softest, comfiest thing. I wouldn't have it as pyjamas because I do get quite hot in bed, and it's not the greatest to be all sweaty in bed, but I think for a t-shirt, or like I've got the Sirocco jumpsuit in an ITY that I got from Pound Fabrics, I just think they're super comfy. So yeah, I don't want to unroll this, but yeah, I'm going to probably make something for Alice in this, but yeah, £6 for a metre, that is an absolute bargain. So they had lots of different ones, and I only bought one, so I was quite proud of myself there. The other things that I got from Bombay Fabrics is they were doing some really great, it's Bombay stores, isn't it, not fabrics. They were doing some really good 2 for £20 deals, and it was mix and match, I ended up buying some wool, and they were £12.99 each for 2 metres, or 2 for £20. So I got this wool, which just really liked the unusual print, and that was £12.99 for 2 metres, as I say, or 2 for 20. And then I also got this lovely blush colour or rose colour corduroy, and got no stretch, I don't think, I'm just checking. Yeah, no stretch, and that was 2 metres as well. So it's a lovely colour, blush colour, and that was in this deal 2 for 20 quid. So that's 4 metres of fabric for £20. That's pretty good. So obviously that's not so bad, but that's probably more for winter, so I'll put that away in my stash for winter. The other store, I can't remember what it was called, but they had a big remnant stand of just different fabrics, really, most of it woolen. And this one here, I just loved because of the colour, and it was 2 metres, and it's £10. So it's got a little bit of sparkling, which is coming up on the camera, and this black, it's not a dog tooth, but it's like a cross. Again, I thought that'd be lovely for the winter for a jacket or a coat or something. And also from them, this was also £10 for 2 metres. This is like more lighter weight, which I think would be nice for a cardigan of some description, and it's this kind of Aztec. It's got like, I don't know if it's coming up very well, like a mustard, very light mustard in it. And I think that'd make a lovely little cardi. It's quite soft as well. So yeah, that is another one that was £10 for 2 metres. So there were some real good bargains to be had at the event. And then finally, the final thing was some viscose. I got 2 metres. Again, I can't remember what shop this was from, so I'm really sorry. This just caught my eye because they had it in 2 colourways. Was it lilac, the other colourway, or purple? But I went for the teal because this was in my colour palette, and this is it. A gorgeous teal and beige or caramelly animal print mix. So we've got like snake print, I think that's like a snake print there, leopard print, and then zebra print, and I just thought that was really unusual. So I got 2 metres of that, and I'm thinking Miss Otis dress is what I've got in my head for this. So actually I did buy quite a few things with actual specific projects in mind. I think this was £14 for the 2 meters, so not too expensive, but I thought that was quite nice and subtle colour, but nice. So yeah, that was the last one. That is everything. So yeah, I went a little bit mad, as you can see, but I had a fantastic time doing it. I'm not going to make any excuses. This is what I spend my money on and I enjoy doing it. And you know, a lot of vloggers have talked about fabric purchase guilt, and I was chatting to a fellow vlogger the other day about how I was a little bit ashamed to show you what I've purchased, but then I thought, do you know what, I work really hard for my money. I don't drink at all, so I don't spend any money on alcohol. I don't, you know, the only thing I spend my money on is my children, holidays and fabric. That's it, and the house. That's all I spend my money on. And I think, you know, someone could go out for the weekend on a night out, 30 quid on taxes, cigarettes, alcohol, you know, and you can spend 100 quid before you know it. But I choose to spend my money on fabric, and that's what I like doing. And I also like showing you what I've purchased. So I'm not going to be ashamed anymore of what I spend on fabric. This is me. I'm a fabric addict. I love buying it, and that's what I enjoy spending my money on. So I hope you enjoy it. So that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed the fabrics. I'll try and put all the information for everything that I can remember in the notes below. I really, really urge you to check out some of these stalls, especially the pattern pages. I cannot recommend that magazine enough, and I already can't wait for my next instalment. And yeah, that's it from me. So I'd also like to just mention that I have opened my own Ko-fi account, which, for those of you who don't know, it is a way that you can support my channel if you want to. Obviously, sewing is a very expensive hobby, and although I do have enough money to support this channel, I am trying to save up for some equipment. I would really like to get a good light for my vlogging camera. I already have quite a good vlogging camera, which hopefully you can see from the quality of my imagery and my videos. They're always in high definition, and that didn't come cheap, that vlogging camera, and that is especially for this purpose. But I do also need a light of some description, and I've got a ring light at the moment, but it's only a cheap one and it's not the greatest. So one of the things that prevents me releasing more content is at night time is the best time that I have to actually bring you this content, but when it's dark it's really, really difficult to film. So what I want to save up for is a really good lighting option for my vlogging camera. So if you want to help me in that quest and you want to buy me a coffee, then please go to my show notes, which has got my Ko-fi link, and you can just buy me a coffee, a virtual coffee. I know a lot of other vloggers do this, and it was something that I felt a bit uncomfortable about doing to begin with, but you know, it does cost money to run this channel, and although I subsidise it a lot myself, it'd be nice if you could support it, but there's no pressure. I'd rather have you here than anything else. So yeah, so that's all there is for me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you don't subscribe, please click the subscribe button. If you like this video, please click like, and please, please, please give me your comments. What do you think of my fabric choices? You know, let me know if you've got any questions or any ideas for anything that you think I should make with these fabrics, and let me know. So that's all from me. Happy sewing. See you soon. Bye.